The New York Knicks were blown out in Game 5 against the Boston Celtics, and there were a lot of concerning things that I saw when I rewatched the game this morning, most notably circling around Karl-Anthony Towns. We'll break that down on today's show, and we'll tell you how the New York Knicks can win Game 6. But if you want that to happen, if you want to close out a series at MSG for the first time since 1999 and get to the conference finals for the first time since 2000, hit that thumbs up icon right now. Welcome into Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody being here. I wish we were doing a preview for Knicks and Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, but we got to wait to do that, and maybe we won't even be able to do that. You got to win Game 6, or you got to win Game 7. It's not the first to 3 wins. It's the first to 4 wins, and the Knicks had an opportunity to close out this series in Boston last night, but they were not ready to play. Hopefully they are this Friday when the game will tip off at 8 p.m. Eastern time at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks actually enter this game as 2.5-point favorites with the total over-under set at 209.5. So Las Vegas, telling you, they expect the Knicks to win, and they don't expect it to be as nearly of a high-scoring game as it has been over the last couple of contests. Let's just start with this. Like, the last thing this Knicks team needs is a Game 7 in Boston, because that's a coin flip game, and then you're leaving an opportunity for the refs to actually control the basketball game. I get it. A lot of people think the Knicks lost Game 5 to the Boston Celtics because of the refs. Look, the refs didn't do the Knicks any favors, but the Knicks didn't do themselves any favors either. You got blown out by 25. You didn't lose because of the refs. Another reason you don't want to go to Game 7 outside of potentially losing that game, that would be Monday. The Eastern Conference Finals, they start on Wednesday. In Indiana, they're just sitting back, watching, icing up, getting rest, and getting more healthy by the minute. And you would essentially have 1 day rest and 1 day of prep time if you do win Game 7 to go and play the Indiana Pacers. So, how about we just close them out? Friday night Knicks. Come on. Please. All righty, I'll start with this, and maybe this is an overreaction, and it probably is an overreaction, and I don't expect this to happen, but I think it should. The Knicks should heavily consider benching Karl-Anthony Towns for Mitchell Robinson for a lot of different reasons. Go rewatch the game. On the very, very first possession of the ball game, Derek White, or the second possession of the game, Derek White runs into the corner in transition, and Karl-Anthony Towns ignores him. And then 8 sets of eyes, or 8 eyeballs, all go to Jalen Brown, and it leaves Derek White wide open for 3. And the same thing that happened in Game 4 happened in Game 5, and he lit it up in the first quarter, and the Knicks really weren't able to recover because the Celtics became hot, they became confident, and they let it fly from downtown. Derek White was 5 of 7 from the field and 3 of 5 from 3 when guarded by Karl-Anthony Towns at Game 6. That second possession of the game, he ignored him when he went into the corner. The very next trip down, Derek White uses an Al Horford screen, and Karl-Anthony Towns is in drop coverage. It's Game 5 of the series. It's the 9th time you've played Boston this year. Why are you still in drop coverage against Derek White? In total, the Celtics shot 8 of 12 when Karl-Anthony Towns was the closest defender. If he is not ready to play, the Knicks have to roll with Mitchell Robinson. This team does not have time to play games and hope and pray that Karl-Anthony Towns is going to wake up and be ready to play. Like, it's the playoffs. It's now or never. And the Knicks don't have the time to wait and hopefully it not be never. Tommy Beer with a couple of advanced analytics that just put a little bit of color into the picture I'm trying to paint. Shout out to Tommy. Awesome dude. Awesome account. Go give him a follow. He's crushing it as always. And go support his Substack. He says, in the 110 minutes Mitchell Robinson has been on the floor in the series, the Knicks have outscored the Celtics by 26 points. In the 135 minutes Mitchell Robinson has been on the bench in this series, the Celtics have outscored the Knicks by 61 points. The Knicks are allowing 116 points per 100 possessions with Mitchell Robinson on the bench. Knicks are allowing 102.6 points per 100 possessions with Mitchell Robinson on the floor. And major shout out to Mitchell Robinson, going 6 of 6 from the foul line last night. Coach Mazzulla doing his best hack-a-shack mentality and attack, and Mitchell Robinson was able to answer. We have no times for feelings. We have no time for agenda and no time for ego. It is very evident the New York Knicks, at least against the Boston Celtics, are better when Mitchell Robinson is on the floor. Your eyes tell you that when you watch, and the advanced analytics back that up. And when that happens, you got to do what's best for the team. And I think that's playing Mitchell Robinson, especially at the start of games. And I'll tell you why in a second. Another tweet from Tommy. The Knicks starting lineup has been outscored by 36 points in this series, yet has logged 107 minutes together. No other five-man unit has played more than 20 minutes. The New York Knicks starters have played 252 of 533 possessions for the Knicks. They've played 47% of the postseason minutes for the Knicks. And the starting five of Brunson, Bridges, Anunoby, Hart, and Towns, they're being outscored by 7.3 points per 100 possessions. The starting five in this series has a minus 16.3 net rating. That's unacceptable. When Brunson, McBride, Bridges, OG, and Robinson are on the floor, in the 13 minutes, very limited sample size, they are outscoring their opponents by 48 points per 100 possessions. When it's Brunson, McBride, Hart, OG, and Robinson, which, again, only 14 minutes this series, limited sample size, the Knicks are outscoring the Celtics by 32 points per 100 possessions. Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to watch this game and then look at the numbers and come to the conclusion that the Knicks are better when Karl-Anthony Towns watches and Mitchell Robinson plays. And most notably, like, all of that was on defense. A lot of those numbers are because of defense. And I get it. Look, Karl-Anthony Towns is an awesome offensive player. He's been invisible on offense for the New York Knicks. He was brought here to space the floor. He was brought here to shoot the three-point ball. He's not even getting shots up. They're not even drawing up open looks for him, and part of that falls on Tom Thibodeau, no doubt about it. And I understand the raw counting numbers look good. 19.5 points per game, 13 rebounds, 49% from the field, but he's shooting 15% from three. So when he gets the looks, he's not making them. And most importantly, he's turning the ball over way too frequently. He's not even averaging half an assist per game, and he's averaging over 2.5 turnovers per game. So you're not playing defense, you're not making threes, and you're turning the ball over at will. You're not doing anything to help this team win. The Knicks have 3 wins in this series in spite of Karl-Anthony Towns, the guy that makes $60 million this year. It would be nice if the Knicks could win a game in the playoffs because of Karl-Anthony Towns. And just more numbers, like plus minus, meaning how many more points are you scoring or being outscored by when you're on the floor? This series versus Boston, when Karl-Anthony Towns is on the floor, the Knicks are being outscored by 34 points. When Mitchell Robinson is on the floor, the Knicks are outscoring the Celtics by 26 points. In the minutes, they're not even close. Outside of not playing defense, not shooting the ball well, and not impacting the game positively for the Knicks and consistently turning the ball over, the mindset for Karl-Anthony Towns is also starting to really piss me off. I went back and I watched his post-game press conference yesterday, and he was pouting, and he felt sorry for himself, and it was embarrassing, saying, hopefully, the disappointment leads to more motivation, better energy. I hate that. He was also asked about why he's been unable to get open and knock down threes. And instead of taking responsibility, he blamed the coaches, saying, I haven't really been out there. Haven't really had the chance to shoot. We've just been doing our game plan. I've been trying to do most of my damage inside and do whatever my team asks of me. Does your team ask you to not play defense? Does your team ask you to consistently turn the ball over? Does your team tell you to get lost in transition? Does your team tell you to not blitz ball screens with Derek White and to play drop coverage? I don't think so. Again, I would bench Karl-Anthony Towns. Not saying not play, but I'd be cool if it was 24 minutes for Mitch at the 5 and 24 minutes at the 5 for Karl-Anthony Towns. And I think it's so important to start Mitchell Robinson to set the tone defensively. How many times this year, not just in the playoffs, have we seen the Boston Celtics light the Knicks up from downtown in the first quarter? Go to my Twitter, @MarshallGreen_. I've posted the first 2 threes of the game for Derek White. He runs to the corner in transition. Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't look at him. The next possession down, he gets a ball screen from Al Horford, and Cat's hanging out in the paint. The Knicks cannot afford to let Boston get hot from 3 in Game 6, or we're going to be going to Game 7. And I also think it'll just be a more natural substitution pattern where you can sit Jalen Brunson at the end of the first quarter, and then you could put Karl-Anthony Towns in the game, and you can run the offense through Bridges and Cat, which we have seen at times has been able to be successful. You can also play Mitchell Robinson without the Boston Celtics hacking him every single time. Yes, he made 6 free throws on 6 attempts. I'm hoping he could do that again, but I don't know if he will be able to. And also, you could probably have Cat not pick up 3 fouls at the half, which he does every single time. Consistently fouling. Consistently turning the ball over, consistently getting lost on defense, and consistently having to win in spite of Karl-Anthony Towns. We need you to be better. You have to be better, or the season will end in a very short notice. Karl, we all believe in you, my man. It's time for you to rewrite the narrative. It's the best part about sports. You have a chance on Friday to change your overall image amongst Knicks fans right now, which, to be honest with you, is a lot of people wish they still had Julius Randle, who was in the conference finals. Hopefully you can get us there. We'll find out. What's your confidence level in Game 6 for the Knicks to walk away with a win, for them to have an opportunity and to do it, to win a conference finals, or to get to the conference finals for the first time in 25 years, to win a series at home for the first time since 1999. Scale 1 to 10, 1 being you're confident, not confident, 10 you got the most confidence in the world. We'll talk more about this game coming up in a second. I got to talk about Jalen Brunson. We got to talk about Josh Hart, Jaylen Brown, and so much more. But first, I got to tell you about our proud sponsor, Factor Meals. Make this your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy. Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. Get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle. And when you use our promo code KnicksChat50OFF at factormeals.com/KnicksChat50OFF, you get 50% off plus free shipping. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. My life is better when I have Factor at the fridge because I live a busy lifestyle. I don't always have time to meal prep, go to the grocery store, and cook healthy meals, and that's why I love Factor. Get started today at factormeals.com/KnicksChat50OFF and use code KnicksChat50OFF to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code KnicksChat50OFF at factormeals.com/KnicksChat50OFF for 50% off plus free shipping. Support the show, support the sponsor, be a real one. All righty. Series isn't over. In fact, it can be over with one more win on Friday night. How did the Knicks do that? 3 adjustments I need them to make. Deny. I remember my freshman year of high school basketball, Coach Brett Nixon. Deny. See the man, see the ball, and play deny defense. Do it on Derek White. Guard him like he's Steph Curry. Because if the Celtics are going to win, it's going to be because Derek White continues to make threes. He can make contested ones. He can. But the percentages go through the roof when he's wide open. How about we just say nobody ever leaves Derek White? We consistently stay attached at the hip, and we don't let him get open. Also, I know Jalen Brown had a big game, but you can't have Jalen Brown have a big game and also Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, and everyone else light it up from downtown. Take something away. And what I am doing is I am not double-teaming Jalen Brown. The Knicks did that, and it didn't work. And it resulted in open shooter after open shooter. And Jalen Brown had 12 assists. And the Celtics passed the ball 30 more times in the game overall. So how about you just make Jalen Brown beat you one-on-one? You pay OG Anunoby $200 million. You gave up the control of 6 picks for Mikal Bridges. If you can't stop Jalen Brown without Jason Tatum, you don't deserve to win. So do not help off Derek White and do not double-team Jalen Brown. And if you find yourself in a position where you're up by 12 in the second quarter, and instead of not pulling the trigger when you have the gun pointed at him, don't help him up. Don't give him the gun. Pull the trigger. End their season. Be a killer. The Knicks haven't learned to be a killer just yet. Look, you shot 40% from 3 and you lost by 25. That's concerning. It's also concerning that you probably shot 17 of 51 from 2. I'm not good at math, but that's like 34% from 2. You shot 34% from 2. You got beat on the glass. You got beat on the assist category. And you let them shoot 45% from 3. If you're going to let the Boston Celtics shoot 45% from 3, you're just not going to win many games. And can we not make Luke Kornett look like Bill Russell? I mean, look, credit to him. My hat is tipped. But holy shit. I mean, this guy was on the Knicks. I remember Luke Kornett. Major credit to him. Major credit to him. He changed the game in that third quarter. Jalen Brunson. I love you. You know that. We love you. You know that. An unserious approach from you in this game. An unserious approach. As the leader, as the captain, I don't want to hear you at the post-game presser say, we got to play with more urgency. Play with more urgency. You're the captain. Have your team ready to play. Set the tone. Be a leader. Lead by example. In that second play, or in the first possession, you get lost in transition on defense and you allow, or maybe it was the second one, you allow wide open, the third 3 of the game for Derek White. You run back to the paint on defense and you allow Derek White trailing wide open 3. Look, I expect Brunson to have a big game 6. I do. He's been great in game 6s as a New York Knick, and usually when he has a bad game, he bounces back in a major way like he did in game 4. I expect Brunson to show up and show out and close it out at the Garden. But I ask you and challenge you, Jalen Brunson, to have this team ready to play. Mentally, physically, and IQ-wise. Set the tone. Be a leader. OG Anunoby, you can't play much worse, my man. You got lit up by Jalen Brown, and you damn near put up a Tony Snell-like stat line. 1 of 12? 1 of 12? 1 of 5 from 3? You were 0 of 7 from 2. 0 of 7 from 2. If you're going to play like that, you're not going to be playing much longer this season. Mikal Bridges, you've been awesome in the fourth quarter. When the Knicks have needed you most, you've came through. You put up a stinker. You put up a stinker. Nobody played good for the New York Knicks outside of Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson. Major credit to Mitchell Robinson. Josh Hart played his tail off. I understand he made 5 threes, and it's hard to ask more of him. I need gritty Josh Hart in game 6. I need offensive rebound Josh Hart. I need helter-skelter Josh Hart. I need bodies on the floor Josh Hart. And if you can make your threes, cool. But I need the margin improver Josh Hart. The extra plays, the extra possessions, the energy, the effort, and the will to win, the heart of the city. You played your tail off. Hope the eye's okay. That was crazy. Somehow that was only a regular foul. But everyone's got to be better. It's that simple. Jalen Brown, salute to you, my man. You played your ass off. You stepped up for your team on offense, and you stepped up for your team on defense. You said, I'm going to guard Jalen Brunson, and you locked him up, and you locked him up. If I'm a Celtics fan, I'm pissed the hell off. It took until Game 5 for Jalen Brown to be guarding Jalen Brunson. And as a Knicks fan, I'm thankful it took until Game 5. Hopefully Brunson figures it out. I think he will. And I got the Knicks winning game 6. But you can't have Derek White shoot 7 of 13 from 3. Like, come on. Four more threes in the first quarter. Did you not learn from game 4? Game tells you what to do. Did the game tell you to not guard him again in the first quarter, Tom Thibodeau? 34 points. Derek White scores 34 points on 56% from 3. You're going to be playing game 7. Come on. Find a way. Find a way to find a way. You're supposed to win this game. You've gotten a golden opportunity. Get it done. Just one more. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. We're going to be live on the channel for Game 6 an hour before tip-off. So subscribe, turn those notifications on. And if you haven't yet, please, please, please hit that thumbs up icon on your way out. In Game 6, go get it.